element to it. Oh my God, what is happening upstairs? There's literally no one ever upstairs, and today there's like 50 people. Hello everyone, my name is Lisa, and I'm the Viet Vegan, because I'm Viet and I'm vegan. And today we're making cookies, because today's just been a very trying day. I've tried to make 3 different videos today. Sorry, not 3, 2 different videos today. I can't even talk. The first video was supposed to be banh mi au plat, which is like the egg sandwich with the thing that I showed you guys on Instagram that you guys like freaked out about. I went to the store and they didn't have bread. So that sucked. And then I was gonna make a different video of me like cooking just like my regular dinner, but like both the things that I made didn't turn out exactly the way I wanted it to. Here now we're making cookies because I need something to make me feel better. Now, if you don't want to listen to me ramble, jibber jabber, because I apparently talk too much according to some of the comments, you don't have to listen to me. Click on the link down below. The full recipe is always on my blog. Just saying. So let's make some chocolate chip cookies. Forewarning, if you do click on the recipe, by the way, that is a blog post from 3 years ago when I was dating someone else that's not Eddie, and that was right before we broke up, and it was like really intense. So that's why it's like a love letter essentially, but of reassurance to me. You have to read it to understand it. But anyway, my blog posts have always been kind of like a journal or like a diary for me, which is why I don't delete old posts, because they marked like a certain point of my life. Anyway, that's not related. Let's make some cookies. These cookies, they're not healthy cookies. There's gonna be flour, there's sugar, there's fat. It's a good time, but there's a little extra fiber, so that's okay. So we're gonna start off with your typical first ingredient, which is vegan butter. This is Earth Balance. You can also use vegan Basil or any other vegan butter alternative that you have, but the results may vary. So what I've learned over time is that different vegan butters have different moisture content levels, and that determines how your cookie will be. So I've seen some people whose cookies have not spread at all. I've seen some cookies who have spread like mine did in the picture. It depends on the kind of butter you use. That's the way the cookie does not crumble. What are you doing? If you hear random noises, it's because my uncle upstairs has people working and they just are talking and stomping, and I can't do anything about it. So we're gonna put it in our stand mixer here. You don't have to use a stand mixer. You can just use a spatula if you want to. I'm just being super lazy. Let's turn this on and cream some butter. Leave your butter out for like 30 minutes before you start making cookies, or if you don't wanna wait that long, use a cheese grater and just grate your butter. The whole point of creaming your butter is that you want to create like a smoother base that you can add the rest of your ingredients to. The role that butter or fat plays in a cookie is that it gives it moisture. Without fat, your cookie is not quite as like moist and gooey and like tender, you know what I'm saying? To better distribute the fat, we're gonna use some sugar as our sort of like structure in the cookie. So we have some brown sugar. I'm just gonna add that in there. And also some white sugar. Brown sugar adds moisture, white sugar adds structure and sweetness. And then we're gonna turn this on and we're gonna, you know, mixy. You just cream this until it's nice and fluffy, and then you can start adding the rest of the ingredients. This is a flax egg. This is basically 1 tablespoon of ground flax meal mixed with some water, and then you just let it sit and gel and becomes this weird goopy texture. And then it acts like your egg. I feel like I've explained this in another video before, but basically the way that flax eggs work is that you hydrate the flax, and as it bakes, the water evaporates and the flax meal shrinks again, but as it shrinks, it sort of clings to the stuff that's in the cookies. And that acts like a binder in the cookies. So we're gonna pop in that flax egg, and then we're gonna mixy. We're also gonna add some vanilla extract. And now you're gonna have a very light and fluffy mixture. So the last few ingredients are your dry ingredients. Flour adds structure. If you would like to use gluten-free flour, feel free, you can do that. I like the, what is it, Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1. That works just fine. We have some baking powder. If you want to know the difference between baking soda and baking powder puffs because it's double action. It requires heat to activate it, whereas baking soda just uses acid to activate it. And there's some acid in the vanilla, which makes it spread and react in that sort of way. You know what I'm saying? So I like to use both to make sure I get a fluffy but like flat cookie at the same time. All right, so we're gonna add this to our mixer. So we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit at a time. So I'm gonna start with half so that doesn't just fly everywhere. Make sure you scrape down the bowl in between on the sides, and then you add a little bit more. And then the last little bit, and then also chocolate chips. This is a half cup of vegan chocolate chips. These are from Enjoy Life, I'm pretty sure. I would actually normally use chunks because I like chunks better, but all I have is mini chips. So you gotta do what you gotta do. Are you a chips a mini chips or a chunks kind of person? Let me know. I'll put it in the corner. Just mix everything in. You don't want to over mix your cookie because then you'll have like a tough, crispy cookie and not in a good way. And that's it. So the end result, you want a cookie dough that will stick together, that isn't so sticky that it like sticks to your fingers like a lot, but it isn't so crumbly that it doesn't hold together. It is a little bit like looser or like doughier than traditional cookie dough. Vegan butter is just a little bit softer than dairy butter. And because there's no eggs in this, you can definitely lick the beater. Eat the batter raw, no problemo. It's a good time. I'm just gonna make sure I got everything from the bottom, because sometimes with these mixers, they leave a little bit of flour at the bottom. Yep, I see it. I see you, flour. Now actually, in my original recipe, I used 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of brown sugar. But in this version, I have reduced it to 3/4 cups each. You can go down to like 2/3 cup sugar, 2/3 cup brown sugar if you really want to. 3 years ago, I was a lot more able to eat sweets than I am now. You do it according to your taste. Now you're gonna preheat your oven to 350. You take a cookie scoop if you want to, or you can just use your fingers, and roll out about, what is this? 1.5 tablespoons of batter, so about 4 teaspoons. You don't have to make them perfect. I just like having all my cookies the same size. It also makes it really handy if I ever wanna make ice cream sandwiches. That one had a lot of flour in it. 1 second. I gotta redistribute that. Remember what I said about being crumbly? So we have our first pan of them ready to go in the oven. I like to space them about 2 inches apart because they do spread a little bit. But yeah, you bake them for about, I'm pretty sure it's 8 minutes. You wanna underbake your cookies because that's how you get them to be nice and chewy in the inside. So if they look a little too soft or a little too gooey, that's okay. They will firm up and become really delicious chewy cookies. BRB. So there are a lot of different factors that changed here. My oven is like a little temperamental, and sometimes it's like too hot, but I set it at the right temperature, but then there's times where it's fine where it was. That's a user error on me. These are the cookies. These aren't as flat as they are in the photo because I used less sugar. The more sugar there is, they will flatten a little bit more, but these are perfectly delicious. Here's a more flat one because this one had less flour in it. This is before I mixed in the flour, so that once I mixed in all the flour properly, this is what they look like. More flour equals more structure, less flour equals more spread. I overbake these a little bit, but that's okay. They're still gooey. I forgot how good these were when there's less sugar in them. I love cookies. They are a little overbaked, so they're gonna be a little crunchy, but you know what? That's okay. Just know your oven. But yeah, once you take them out of the oven, let them sit on the tray for about 2 minutes or so, and then you take them off because otherwise they'll keep on cooking. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. I'm sorry I'm a little all over the place. But Saturday, I will have the banh mi opala recipe. I'm really excited for it. I hope you guys are too. As always, the link is down below if you want the full written out recipe. I don't know why I decided to lean on this, but you know, it's pretty comfy, so I'm gonna keep on doing it. Like I said, this is before I met Eddie, so if you guys are like, oh my God, who's this Chris fella? It's from 3 years ago. But yeah, if you like this video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you like what you see, and comment down below because you know, YouTube likes videos with engagement. So if you want this channel to keep on growing, keep engaging. And that's actually the same with any other social platform because engagement is what keeps things going. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a delicious day. Bye. Baking is one of... I hate this house. Wait, is this crooked?
Here I come to save the day.
So our last few ingredients are flour, baking soda, and baking powder. If you're wondering, oh my God. Cookies, cookies, cookies.